That's all.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Everybody, people are starting to join us. Hello. Welcome. Good morning, Janet and James and Khadijah and Kathy. So good to see you guys.
Okay.
Yes, let's go. Let's
get this party
go.
started.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, welcome everybody. I mean, isn't Miss Margaret just like an energizer bunny? Like, I love her. Every time I talk to you, I just get like energized. That's the only thing I could think of. You energize me. I get so excited and so happy to talk to you. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, it was a pleasure. Okay. I woke up today in my right mind. Okay. I got a lot to say.
Okay. Yes, she has
Okay.
amazing energy. So thank you guys for joining us. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nicole, and I am here every Monday for Leading Through the Cracks, where we have real stories, whole women, and transformative leadership. And today I invited Miss Margaret on so we could talk about the power of community. Community. Like, community is so important, for those of what's important for everyone, right? But especially when
Yes.
right, it's important for everyone. But specifically when we are in places of leadership or business, especially solopreneurs who we're out here on our own, out often in silos. We may be away from family. People may not understand our vision and our drive for how we're trying to grow our business. And it can get lonely, right? And it's important to have that group of people that you can commiserate with, find joy with, and vision with, encourage one another, support one another. And so, as we're in this month of December, getting ready to come up on the holidays, which for some people is a great and joyous time, but for others, maybe not so much, right? And so we acknowledge that. We acknowledge that there are a variety of experiences for people, and we're just gonna talk about how important it is to find your community and know that it doesn't have to look like the way everybody else does community, right? So, yeah, thank you so much, Miss Margaret, for
It
being
was
here.
my it was my pleasure. If you ask me to talk, okay, I don't have no problem with that. You ask me to write, then no, that's not what I want to do. Okay. So when we talk about community, and I'm glad you said that on our community,
Right.
okay? Because community is not necessarily where you live,
Mm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Because I've traveled all around the world, okay? 16 years was spent overseas. So the community looked different everywhere I went, okay? It felt the same, but it looked different. What do I care what it looked like as long as it feels good, okay? And that I'm benefiting, and the people that's within the community are benefiting as well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we cannot call it a community. We can call it something else. I don't know what that word would be,
Uh,
okay?
just some people in the same space, right? Because
Thank
people
you.
can be in the same space together and that not be community, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't have the same mindset, the same uh, thing as far as goals or interest, then what is the point? What are you? You're just individuals.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So
Yeah.
being in a community, that means that we have to listen. Okay. We have to be willing to put our feelings aside for someone else. Okay. And by doing that, you help somebody to rise. And that's the greatest satisfaction of all, to see somebody grow, just like you plant that garden, okay? And then you start to see the fruit of your labor, okay? You can see those buds coming up out of that soil, okay? And how does that make you feel? Okay?
you're speaking my language now, because you know I'm a plant mom. I'm a plant mom. I have so many plants. I wish I could show y'all right now. I have a lot of plants.
That 95 or 85 you
Yes,
said on the
yes, yes. I have a lot of them. Yes. And it is amazing. Like as after we leave this live, I'm going to pick up a few plants that need to be rehabbed because it hurts my heart when they're struggling, and I love taking care of them, nurturing them, giving them what they need, which is what happens when you're in the community that you're meant to be in, right? The community that you're meant to be in will nurture you. It will speak into you. It will pour into you. And
It
I
will
that's what I
fulfill you. It will
yeah.
fulfill you and
Yeah.
sustain you because there's going to be ups and downs. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so when you have these ups and downs, people are there when you're on top. Okay. But as you start to fall down,
Mm,
everybody starts to scatter. Where's the community then?
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And so my time in the military, we only had each other. So we didn't have no other choice. There was no other alternative. We had to rely on each other to come back home alive. And that takes trust.
It does. Serious trust.
Yeah, because some of those people didn't make it home alive.
Yeah.
And it's because of their sacrifice the rest of us did. And
Mm.
I can never forget the sacrifice that they made
Yeah. And
so
thank
we
you.
can live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you think about these things, it makes you more humble. It makes you more grateful. Okay? And it makes you think, man, that could have been me.
Mhm.
But it wasn't because it wasn't that time. So how can I turn all of this trauma, all of these things that happened to me in my life, how can I flip the script and turn them into something beautiful that I can show, okay, when I die, okay, say this is how I left the world a better place than how I found it.
Mhm.
Okay? And
Yeah.
that gives me the perseverance, the courage to continue. Do you think I like exposing myself? No, no, I'm a very deeply private person. But these things are necessary to have transformation in our lives and in the people that we serve.
Yes.
How can we develop this trust if we can't reveal our own deepest secrets, our own deepest desires or pains?
Yeah.
Okay? Because person say, you ain't saying nothing. I can't relate to what you're saying. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, first of all, thank you so much for your service, number
Mm.
1, for even sharing
Thank
what
you.
you went through. Yes, yes, we thank you for that. We thank you for your service. Those that served along with you, that sacrifice, we thank you for that, and just using that as an example of the type of trust and really vulnerability that it takes to create community. Because I think that there's a comment in the right now from Juliana. Hi, it's good to see you. Um, she's talking about how she used to be on another platform called Discord, and
Hold
when
up.
she would, yeah, I've never been on there, but I've heard of it also. And she's saying that she used to share things on there, and it would be silent. It would be met with silence, and she hasn't. I'm thinking what she's saying is that here on Substack, it has been a different experience for her. Of
Hope so.
and yes, I am. I hope so as well, and I can second that for myself. From other platforms that I've been on, um, where I've tried to share my thoughts, share my voice, not just to be heard, but really in service of other people, because that's what I'm called to do is use my life, my story, my message to serve other people. Here on Substack is, I think, one of the probably first places that it has resonated in such a way that you can feel the ripple effect and you can feel the genuineness of the community. I've seen notes from other people where there's been little things that have happened that they didn't like, but for the most part on Substack, it feels like such a genuine community. It feels like people are really there to hear to read or listen, just to grow together, encourage each other. I want to see us all grow. I want to see us all win. And anybody who wants to be a part of my community, I welcome that. Even if we don't always see eye to eye, the key is not necessarily, to me, the key is not necessarily that you agree on everything, but that you honor and respect the person in front of you, right? You honor and
Yes,
all the pieces of that person in front of you, and you respect, and as you said in the beginning, listen. We listen to understand, not listen to wait to be heard. And so I feel that that happens a lot on Substack. I've noticed I've developed some great relationships, even though I haven't met any of y'all in person. I feel like I still look for you. I whenever I come on Substack, I have a list of people and I'm looking for you. I'm like, what are they saying today? Are they feeling okay? What are they writing? Let me see where their head is at. Let me see where their heart is at. And I didn't necessarily do that on other platforms, not because I didn't care, but just because it felt more transactional there. And here it really feels genuine. And to me, that is the basis, the foundation of a true, thriving, healthy community.
absolutely. Are there issues and problems with community? Yeah, like in the world that we live in, it's no different. Like you said, there are going to be differences. We can agree to disagree and leave it there and move on to the next thing. Okay? Because life is constantly changing. Okay? And we can always revisit an issue later down the road when we've given ourselves time and space to reflect upon it. And a lot of times, I think that's better than coming off. If you're angry or upset, I would prefer that. Like, let me get back with you, and we can talk about that later. Because I know me. I get something in my head, and I can just go to all the way to the left, and I have to have somebody to bring me back.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a friend. I have a very good friend that lives in Israel, and I'll call her, and she'll say, "Margaret, you way off base." I like, okay, thanks for letting me know, because I trust what she tell me. Okay, she said it's not that way. I like, okay, fine, I trust you. So we all need to have that source, that person that we can go to to say, "Hey, this is the problem. This is the issue." And they say, it's not a problem, it's you. Because most times it's not the other person, it is you. Just look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Like, oh shit, I didn't see that. All right, let me do something. Let me do something about that, because I can't continue down that road. That's the road of destruction. Okay? We can all choose two roads. It's two roads, okay? You can choose the road of self-destruction, or you can choose the road of learning and growth.
Yeah.
And I'm not that path of destruction. I'm off that path from now on. Hopefully, okay. When I see myself veering back over to that path, I'm like, oh no, I can't go back over there, because that's taking my energy down. I'm sabotaging my relationships and everything else, and that's exactly the opposite of what community is.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why community is so important because it can help you to it's almost like guardrails. It's like a guardrail for you. Um and I everything you're talking about looking within, recognizing maybe where you may be off base, community, the right community is great at being able to help you do that. I'm always talking about us pausing. We need to pause. We need the pause to be able to identify these things, recognize these things, and evaluate our community. Um, you know, are the people in your life the ones that you're spending the most time with? And that may not even be physical time. What are you reading? Who are you listening to? Who has space in your mind? All of that makes up your community. And sometimes our community, if we're not careful at monitoring our community, it can derail us. So,
Yes, just like we're on that swervy road,
yeah.
and then your community say, "Uh-oh, she's going off the rail. She's getting ready to go off there. Come on, let's pull her back in because
Mhm.
we know she's gone." Okay, she's literally gone, so we
Yeah.
need to reel her back in. Wake up. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Because just like you on the road, that's why I don't drive at night. It's easy to fall asleep on the road, and you may not wake up. Okay, so I don't drive at night. I'm not going to put myself in a situation like that. When you know yourself well enough, and you can't handle this, don't tell yourself you can when you know you can't.
Mm.
Wake
Okay.
up. Do what you need. Do something else instead. Don't put yourself in unnecessary danger for nothing and nobody. Nothing's that good. For real.
Right.
So, like you said, community starts here. Okay?
Mhm.
Inside, then it spreads abroad, right?
Yeah.
And it is based on our values. If we're not in alignment, okay, that's actually one of your favorite words, and
It
mine.
is.
Okay? If we're not in alignment with our values, we have no conversation. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm 63 years old. You tell me, oh, okay, not today, not tomorrow either, because I'm done moved on. The train that left the station. Okay, when somebody tell you that, that's a obvious no. Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, I'm gonna get on my train and I'm heading out, and I don't look back.
Yeah.
We can't look back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You one of the things that um has been really on my mind a lot lately because yes, the best community is reciprocal, absolutely. Um I I coach people. I'm a mental health coach, right? In my other life outside of Substack, I'm a mental health coach, and a lot of times people will come to me because they're having difficulty making friends or they have no community, and they're usually um the people who are saying this to me are usually 40 and over. And so I find that to be really interesting, number 1, but it is almost like an epidemic. People are struggling to connect. People are struggling to um to find these reciprocal relationships um in adulthood. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have read Mel's book, Mel Robbins, The Let Them Theory, but I am listening to that on audiobook right now. And I'm at the end. And one of the things she talks about in that book is the great scattering. She calls it the
Mhm.
great scattering. And that's really what happens after you have left high school or college and now you're in your professional career or whatever you're doing after college. Everyone scatters and they start to build their lives, their businesses, their families, whatever they're doing, and we don't have that natural base of where we would find community, which is school. Like, when we're in school, it's almost automatic. Everybody we're going to the game. We're going to this. We're doing this. Not that people don't feel isolated in school. I know that can happen. But for the most part, it's kind of like this. We're doing life together. We're going to go have lunch. We're going to, do this. Everybody's going, we're study groups, all of those types of things. As we leave and we have the great scattering, as Sunny just said, people feel isolated. And not only that, we are at capacity, right? When we're building businesses, families, um, whatever that thing is that we're building in our lives, we get siloed. And it can be hard to break that pattern of putting yourself out there to connect in adulthood. And so I think it's really important for us to have practical ways of doing that and addressing some of the fears, because people, when they come to me, it's not just I don't know how to do this. I mean, that is one of the things they say, but it's not just that. It's also I'm afraid. I'm afraid to connect because of, you know, maybe some relationships have not worked out in the fact maybe they've had a community that hurt them previously. And so it becomes me coaching them through those pains, those disappointments, and getting to the point of, okay, well, what do you want these relationships to look like now? What do you want community to look like now? And let's look at some practical steps of how we can make that happen that feels safe to you. Like, let's baby steps. So,
I'm sorry, I have an
no,
example because
yeah.
before I went overseas, okay, to first I went to Iraq 2 tours and then I went to Israel 2 tours. Anyway, what happened was I isolated myself because I was tired of being betrayed. I was betrayed by my family. I'd be betrayed. Every relationship ended up uh like my father who was a narcissist, okay? So I got to the situation, I said, I just be by myself and I'll just exclude the whole world, then just rely on myself. It don't work like that. It was simple. It was resemblance of not 9/11, COVID. But when I was in Israel and when I was in Iraq, they would not let anybody be alone because that's when all these things click in, and that's the time when a person is more likely to commit suicide, not when they're with someone. Okay. And it was so stressful with the work we had to do while we're getting bombed. Okay. So, um, people deal with stress, people deal with depression in different ways. People are not going to talk. When people stop talking, that's when you need to be concerned and go and check on them and check on their mental health. Okay? Don't let people be alone and don't let them be silent. Hey, let's talk. What's going on? How's your day? How's the family? You got to get them to, get them out of that melancholy state if you can. Okay? Because if you don't get out of there soon, they're going to send your ass home because you're a liability. You're a liability. And if somebody get hurt or killed because of that, then command is in charge and they responsible for every life to go home alive.
Wow.
Okay? You can't
Yeah.
have somebody out there that's not on their game. Okay? You can't have that.
Mhm.
Zero tolerance.
Wow.
You put everybody at risk.
Yeah,
Okay?
that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. And yes, as Reverend Evelyn has just said, when we're outside of the military, when we're just talking about our relationships and our friendships, it is true. There are people who are like considered the strong friend, the one who everybody always turns to for support. Sometimes those people are the most lonely people. I'm
Yeah,
one of those people. I'm one of those
I
people,
am
you know?
too. I
I
am too.
I am the one who everyone goes to for support and for coaching and for help and this and that. And sometimes people don't check on me. And I've had to learn to create that myself. I already knew you were one of those people, Juliana. I could tell. But yeah, we are those people. And it is important that if you have those people in your life, that you check on those people. Ah, ha, ha, Reverend Evelyn. She may or may not be. She
And then
is.
then the other thing is, I'm gonna be completely honest, okay?
Mhm.
The more and more you get more popular on these platforms, it's like, oh my God, I need some boundaries. I need to be able to just go somewhere and nobody know who I am or nothing, and just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just change my name or something else. I'm just a regular person. I eat a
Yeah.
burger and some fries, okay? I don't
Yeah.
need all that. You know what I'm saying? It just you put the expectations in and even increasing. And then you say, you need to take a pause. Can you really take a pause? People out there waiting for you, okay, expecting something from you. And if you don't give them what they want, they're going to go and find it from someone else.
Well, now I can just let
Just
me
being
go.
honest. What?
Listen, I hear what you are saying. I absolutely do. But you know that that's my whole thing, is that for us, who the strong ones, the leaders, the people who are the helpers, the coaches, we have to pause, because
Yeah.
we need to model for the people who we're speaking into their lives on a regular basis. We need to model boundaries, right? We have to, because we cannot continue to operate outside of capacity. Like, we cannot do that anymore. It that is the thing that almost killed me. Right? It wasn't the accident. You know my story. I ran into a brick wall. So it wasn't the
Yeah.
brick wall that almost killed me. It was me operating outside of capacity continually. Like, and I understand that sometimes there are situations that come about where that has to happen. I've discussed that before. Like, when something major happens in your life, a grief, a loss, you know, a major transition. Sometimes there are seasons where, yes, we might have to operate in what feels like it's outside of our capacity. But what I'm talking about is our everyday rhythm. When things are kind of status quo, we're just kind of living life, we're building our businesses, we're interacting with our family and friends. Nothing major's happening right at that moment in time. That's when we have to, no matter who's pulling on us, if we need to say no, if we need to have certain operating hours where people can contact us, or we need to let them know, hey, you're going to get a response to this within 48 to 72 hours. Like,
Mm.
like, all of that is okay, because we can't, like, I'm actually writing this post. I don't know. It's going to post in uh, a few days, but I'll give y'all a preview. It's about
Okay.
it's about a candle and a firework. Candles, fireworks, right? Um a firework is something that is loud, it's bright, it needs attention. It's beautiful, and we like it. We like to look at it, and the firework is calling for your attention, right? But you guess what? It burns out in seconds. A candle, a candle
Yeah.
a candle. If we take another candle and we light that candle, nothing is taken away from this original candle. And now this candle can go, and it can, it keeps going. The flame keeps going. It's a steady, sustained, it may be quiet. Candles don't typically make that much noise, a little crackle maybe, but it's sustainable. It keeps going. And I can't take credit for it, Reverend Evelyn, because my pastor talked about this at church on Sunday. So I will give him credit in my post that I post about this, but it is a beautiful metaphor, right? It's so beautiful. Are you going to be a firework, or are you going to be a candle? Are you going to be a firework? Or are you going to be a candle? And the
Okay.
candle is sustainable. The candle is long lasting. The candle keeps going and can give and give and give, and it never loses itself, right? That firework is here one day and it's gone. Not even in a day, it's gone in moments. And we don't want to burn out like that, right?
You're
So
right. I did that.
somehow, yeah. So somehow we have got to be okay with creating these healthy boundaries and these pauses in our lives that allow us to continue the work that we're called to do without
I,
losing ourselves from a place of peace, from a place of ease. Like, we don't want to be out here burning ourselves out just for the sake of helping other people, because what example are we being to them, and how much more could we help if we are coming from a healthy place?
I couldn't agree more. Okay. So, with the A personality, it's like, I'm always on and always have to be performing. Okay.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
we have to entertain, we have to inform, we have to describe, we have all these expectations. And I'm like, I can't meet all these expectations. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm tired. I'm tired. Shoot. I'm wore out. Okay.
Yes. Yes. And yes. And the thing is that you don't have to. You don't have to meet all of these expectations, because you can set the expectation of how you are going to show up. You get to set that. Everyone who's listening to me gets to set the expectation of how they will show up in life, in business, in their relationships. And it's really important as we move into a new year, right? We're getting ready to move into a new year. And the thing for me is, I have called this new year the year of the pause. I'm like, if you follow me, you'll see every single day I'm doing a countdown to 2026. So every day there's a post where I'm hammering it in there. Like, this is what we are this is where we have to recalibrate. We have to set ourselves up in a way that is sustainable. Our voices are valuable, right? Our everything
You're
that
right.
we do is valuable. And in order for those our voices to make the impact that I believe each and every person listening has a space. Those spaces may look different. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter how far reaching. None of that matters. The fact is that you have a space and you have a voice and you have an impact. And I want you to be able to be sustainable in that, and whatever your vision is for how you're supposed to bring your voice, your message, your service forward into the world, you are worthy enough to set boundaries around what that looks like, so that it can burn on like the candle, right? We don't want
Yes.
you to be a firework that is here one day and gone the next. We want you to consistently be here, sharing, giving, even earning from your voice and your message if that's what you want to do. We want you to be able to earn, right? Or take care of
Yes.
yourself, because you were given that voice, that gift for a reason.
Yes, we were.
Right. We were. And so going into 2026, that's what I want everyone to really be focused on. I'm calling it the year of the pause. And if you follow me, you're going to hear me talking about the year of the pause for the entire year of 2026. And and I'll be teaching on what that actually means. Because I think some people are afraid of pausing. And I think I wrote about this. You commented on it. You commented on the post that I wrote about when it feels dangerous to pause, because it can feel dangerous to pause. And I think part of that is because we have a concept of what pausing means. And pausing doesn't have one meaning. A pause there's so much that can happen in a pause, right? And so
Yes.
as we're thinking about community and establishing the community that is correct for us and what that looks like for us, we do need to pause. We need to pause and ask ourselves some questions like, what is it that I need from community? How do I want to show up in the world with my voice, my purpose, with my calling? And what type of community do I need to help me sustain that? Right?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Each and every individual should be asking themselves these important questions. Okay? Maybe this community is not the community that you belong to, because there's a lot of communities I entered and I was not welcome. Okay?
Mm.
And I knew from that moment that I was in the wrong place. Okay? If you feel in your heart and you feel that this is the wrong place and you're feeling this chill on your body, leave. That's not the place for you.
We're blessed to have you, Juliana.
Yeah, so we need to take a lot of things in considerations when we say, "Oh, I'm a part of this community." Are you really? And what what part do you play within this community? What do you give as part of this community? It's not just receiving. You need
Mhm.
to be able to give in order to receive.
Yes, someone said that earlier. I think it was Kira said that community
She
is
said,
reciprocal. Yes. Mhm.
and I learned that in the government. Well, I don't want to say the government, in the army, okay? Because when we was out there, like I said, we brought each person back, okay? We left no man downstream. Period.
Mhm.
You know, dead or alive, you made it back, okay? And so if you have to pick up your brother, the two of you, okay, the two of us have to pick and carry him, that's what we did. Okay? Not me individually, but I'm just saying, if that's what we
But
had to do, and that's what they do out in the field. When people get injured, people get killed, you don't leave them out there.
no
You
man left
bring them on.
behind. No
No.
man left behind.
Okay. And so when I
Mhm.
come to Substack, okay, I had a different mentality, but it's okay. You know, we have to, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans if you want to make it out alive. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to adjust and adapt to your environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Margaret, one thing that I've noticed about you is that you, like I said at the top of the conversation, anytime I'm talking to you, I feel energized and I feel happy. You are like just a bullet of energy, just like a ray of sunshine. You make me so happy. And one of the things that I've noticed over the last few weeks is you really calling to people who might feel lonely. You you have made specific posts about this, bringing people together, creating space for people who may feel alone, especially during the holidays. And I feel like that is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And I want you to understand that, yes, she's the candle with firecracker energy. You see that? They said that about you. You are the candle with firecracker energy. And I will take that any day. I love it. I love it. But I just want you to know that though I'm not alone over the holidays, me just reading the posts that you made was such it was so heartwarming to me. And I don't know who responded or if people responded or are meeting you on these Zoom calls, but I just want to thank you for being that to people, and you've talked many times about feeling the different betrayals that you've experienced in your life and how alone that you felt. And I thank you so much for being transparent and being open to use where you've been in life and where you've been hurt to recognize that there's a need out there and you are fulfilling that need. So I don't care who has anything to say about it in a negative light. I'm saying in front of all these people who are listening to me right now that I'm honoring you and thanking you for doing that. It is such a need. It is such a need. And for anyone who's responding to you and who that's touched their heart and that they're going to be on those calls with you, I'm thanking you for them. Thank you so much for doing that. It's beautiful.
Well,
It
I always thank you so much. I always feel that it is a need, and it was outpouring. So I'm gonna have somebody to help me figure out how to make this happen. It would maybe have a group of 8 or something like that, or 6 or whatever, if I have however many sessions I have to have. But everybody deserves to be supported. Okay?
Absolutely.
And it's so hard for me, especially I have seen a couple of trees, so it's very difficult for me. So how can I get through this difficult time? Is by we come together, you know, and support each other during this time. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And anything that you need, I am so willing to help you think through it. And
Thank
absolutely.
you.
I really mean that from the bottom of my I know people say, "I'll be there for you. I'll help you." I really do mean that. I
Okay.
really I really do mean that. So, if you need to process it, figure out I don't know how many people, but if it's a lot of people, whatever, I can help you think through it. Um, that's one of my I mean, that's why I have a strategic foresight leadership doctorate is because
Okay.
I love systems and I love putting things in order. And so, yeah, so anything that you need, absolutely. I'm willing to help you with that. But I feel like it's just something, especially we're talking about community, and that is something that definitely needed to be highlighted. It's a beautiful thing, and it just shows number one, you said there was an outpouring. So that is evidence that there is a need for
Yes.
people to have a space, to have community. And it's just beautiful. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
It's my pleasure. That's why we are here,
Y
right?
Yes, it is. It is. And people need some of that firecracker energy in candle form so you don't burn out.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. All
Yes.
right. Good deal. Good deal. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that too. Thank you. I think that was Reverend Evelyn that said that. And I love that. I'm gonna hold on to that. Candle with firecracker energy.
I love that. You should patent that.
Well, thank you. You keep trying to make me trademark, write stuff. I'm writing about 50 books.
Hey, I champion you, okay? Just like that picture back there, you see you're gonna make all of those
Mhm,
products and stuff.
mhm.
You gotta do that. I'm gonna check on you and see where you are on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. This painting has been a large part of the conversations I've had with my family over the holidays because of you. I said, "Oh my goodness, Miss Margaret asked me Miss Margaret asked me on a live about this painting, and I have got to get this figured out." So yeah, those of you that don't know, this is a painting that I did, and I Miss Margaret and I did another live, and she asked me about the painting. She's like, "How do we get it? What's the story?" And I told the whole story, and I am in the process of creating journals and products and things with the painting on it, and it is a painting that is very close to my heart. So thank you, because you gave me the push. It was kind of like in the back, like, "Oh, that's over there. That's just down the road." But it's not down the road now. It is here.
And it's beautiful and it's a powerful message, and you
Thank
have to get it out there. Okay.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do.
I,
I do.
I appreciate you too.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful conversation. Um, it's it's a much needed conversation, as Kira said earlier. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be able to have the conversation. I hope that, as we've talked about it today, that it sparks people to think about it for themselves and to really put some intention behind how you want your community to look. Like, let's just think about 2026. Like, really put some intention behind who you want to be in your circle and what you want that circle to look, sound, and feel like, right?
Yes.
How do you
Yes.
feel? How do you want it to look? What do you want your community to be speaking to you? It's very important. And I think that, there's so many things that we have to that we think about and that we want to keep in order. But this one I feel is so, so important because as next to your own voice, the people around you have the most influence on you. And so
Tell me
it
about it. And
right?
not always in a good way.
Exactly. 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 And so, I know for me, I have some big vision, big dreams for 2026. And I need people around me that are going to check on me, that are going to pour into me, that are making sure, like she said, she's going to check on me about this painting. I need people that are going to be like, look, lady, you said you were going to do boom, boom, boom. Where is it? What's happening? And not in a condemning way, but just in a I love you. I want your voice to be heard. I want your message out there. What do we have to do to help you do that? Just like I'm saying to you, what can I do to help you serve all these people that you have opened the doors to? Like what can I do to help you be able to serve the people that you said you wanted to serve and they responded to the call, right?
Wow, yeah, because a lot of times I got really good ideas in it. I'll just speak it without having a plan in place. I'm like, oh my God, I did that. What am I gonna build?
Yeah.
You know what? But it always work out. It always work
Yeah.
out. And I'm not worried. I'm not
Yeah.
worried because what I said came from the spirit, and the spirit is gonna make it so. So
Amen.
it is what it is.
Amen.
Okay?
Okay. Don't get this preacher's
Yes.
kid preaching in here.
Yeah, right. I ran from all of that, but that's a part of who I am. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna embrace that. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna embrace
Yes.
it.
Yes. And I think it was you. It's a part of who I am too. I'm a PK. My dad is no longer with us, but or well, on this side of um but that's how I was I born and raised in the church, and um it is the foundation of who I am.
Me
Right?
too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'm just thankful that I get to help people in the way that I'm designed to help people. And a lot of that does come from the foundation of faith that I have and that my parents instilled in me. So yeah, absolutely. And that's where the calling of service comes from. Like it's like
Yes.
I have to. It's more like I get to. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be able to pour into people's lives, to be able to things that come easy to me, scheduling, planning out systems, all that kind of stuff. If that's hard for other people, I love helping them do that. Creating margins in your life, all of those things. Like let's see, Dr. Ev or Reverend Evelyn said that a post of mine inspired her to take a mini sabbatical for the last 2 weeks of the year.
Mm.
And I'm like, yes, yes. Do you know how many people are so stressed that they can't do that? And I'm not
Yeah.
condemning them for being stressed. I'm not condemning people for being stressed. I'm just saying my heart is that people would be able to do something like that. And if doing it like how she's doing a 2 week sabbatical, sometimes that feels overwhelming to people. So I like to say this is something that I use with my coaching clients. I call it the power of the pause. And it is where you take micro pauses in your day. It's like a mini sabbatical. And you can have it throughout your day, throughout your week, where you institute, you know what? In this 5-minute block, I'm turning off the lights. I'm turning off everything. I'm sitting here with myself. I'm shutting it out. And people kind of look at me like, "What?" And because it seems like that's not going to help, but I promise you, if you do it consistently, those 5 minutes help your brain, they help your nervous system, they help bring clarity, and they help you to really be able to release some of the stuff that you're holding on to. And so the power of the pause, guys. Again, I'm going to be talking about it all year. I'm going to have workshops on it. I'm going to have trainings on it, different things that you can do because it is that important. It's that important that we take care of ourselves in that way.
Absolutely. Nicole, I have really enjoyed our conversation, but I have to go because I have a live at 9 o'clock.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. I have enjoyed it as well. I know I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been so beautiful. But thank you for being with me. I really,
of
truly
course.
thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been beautiful. It's been a beautiful time of community. So,
Absolutely.
yes, um, we will see you. Well, I will see you next time. I'm here next Monday again. So, everyone, have a fabulous day. Think about your communities. Think about how you want to curate them. And we will see you next time.
Thank you
Bye.
all. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.